Welcome to Phoenix Farm. Here we are in Woodinville, Washington. It's a beautiful day before Easter. So right off the bat, here's Capella, Terry's house. The barn. Around, we have trees, we have woods. Capella still hiding over there in the trees. Here we come into turnout. Who is that handsome fellow in the silver blanket? Never seen a camera he didn't like. It's the mighty Puck Star. Looks like he's flirting with Tulip, even though his wife Capella is out here in turnout, can see everything he does. Hi! There's Tulip, the little flirt. Oh, here he comes. He's never seen a cookie he didn't like. Hi there, handsome fellow. Let's see, who's over here in turnout? Looks like Joey. Maybe Rue, Junior. Sorry, camera's wiggling a little bit. Not sure. Hi. But of course, here's the best horse in the whole place. See the most handsome thing you've ever seen in your life? Later we'll see some action shots of him doing his usual airs above the ground, I'm sure. We're going to go on out to the arena. No, you just stay there. Don't worry. We can go out to the arena and see what's going on out there. So here's a lesson. This is Megan on Jack. She's having a lesson with Mary Jane.
Much better. Go around again.
Give you a better view here of Jack. Oof, as he comes by.
Hello.
Hello.
Outside ring, look. Wait.
So Jack is big. Jack's close to 17 hands. And Megan's one of our working students.
Look. That was a better downward transition.
So contrary to what a lot of people think, the smaller the jump is not necessarily easier.
Okay, now do the trotting exercise again afterwards. Do that again.
These jumps are set so that Jack is being taught to sit back on his hocks and jump up and over.
You just can't. You have to stay
And if they can't do the smaller jumps in correct form, they'll never do the bigger jumps in correct form.
So really think straight.
And jumping in correct form is not just about the way it looks, but also about the horse using himself in such a way that he remains sound throughout his working life, or as sound as possible. Horses that drag themselves around on their front end as opposed to using their hocks end up being very unsound later in life. Okay, Jimbo, this is for you. Here's an over-on's eye view. There's his ears. I'm sitting on the mighty. He was a bit of a twit today, but pretty good. So here's what he sees as he goes along. We have the cone set there to encourage you to go out in your corners. Here's our neighbors next door. This is Puppy Manners. They also have a couple of horses. That little black speck is the Minnie. She's a Minnie. She's actually a horse, not a pony. Her name's Maisie. Here he sees the horses in turnout as he goes along. Here's our working students. Sorry, I'm wearing my riding gloves, so it's not the smoothest filming transitions. So this is kind of one whole lap. Those big metal things you see are the beams or whatever you call them that are holding up the barn. Here's our woods, kind of our summer turnout. This is the grass. They're in what you see as the muddy paddocks right now, because if we put them on the grass in the winter when it's wet, they just rip the crap out of it, and it would all be mud, no grass. So that's kind of summer turnout. Up the hill, and that's pretty much a complete lap. Now, here's an exercise he did last night. That's called a vertical to an oxer with the double bar and the spread, to a cross rail, to a small vertical. So it's called a gymnastic with a bounce at the end. The gymnastic, he takes one stride between each fence. The bounce at the end is not a stride. He lands with his front legs, The back legs come down and he lifts again. Now last night it was set at about 2.9, and we went through it well a couple times, and then we raised it and he kind of sat down with his rear end on the oxer looking at that last white pole and kind of had a hissy fit after that. Now here's a regular bounce. It's what's called a vertical because it goes straight across to another vertical to another vertical. And again, this is a bounce. So the front legs come down, the back legs come down as the front legs raise to the next fence. So I'm just going to go around and give you another view. It's a beautiful sunny day here, somewhere in Woodinville, home of the mighty puck star. It's our woods, our grass paddocks. Over here, kind of across this little road, we're going to make trails in the coming year. Now I will show you this white pole on the ground here. For whatever reason today, Saturday, I've told you before he's spooky. This white pole created quite a bit of consternation today. So here's the view as you would go down through this gymnastic. Vertical, 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 oxer, cross rail, vertical. Again, last night it was set up as vertical, vertical, oxer, vertical at about 2.9. We might have raised it to 3 foot before he sat down on it. Anyway, so there's the mighty puck star eye view. See, just so you can see I'm on him. There's my foot. Here's his ears. He's actually walking quite nicely. So I'm going to pause here and give you a view of what he's wearing, since in the interest of a complete documentary here. And then we'll see if he wants to have a roll. So here's the mighty. Here's his head. I'm trying to zoom in, zoom out. I'm not doing a particularly good job of it. Okay, there we go. So here he is. He's wearing what's called a double bridle. It's a Happy Mouth bit. It's specially flavored plastic like apples. It's a mullen mouth. It goes straight across. There's no link in the middle. It's a double ring. This gives me a little bit more leverage. You can see there's 2 reins here. A little bit more leverage and stopping power when we jump. He's wearing a martingale. It goes from his nose to his girth. Keeps him from flipping his head up and breaking my nose. Here's my saddle. I love the saddle. This is a Laurent Biarri, made in France. The saddle maker no longer makes them, so very difficult to replace should something ever happen to it. I'd be absolutely heartbroken. He's wearing what's called polo wraps and bell boots on his feet. It's for protection. And anyway, here's a whole, stay there, whole view. Whoops, here he comes. Okay, he's ready for his roll. There he goes. Nobody loves his rolls more than this horse. So when he's good, he gets to roll around like that. Go on. Don't. This horse also loves a camera. He has never met a camera he doesn't love. So you can see he's what's called trace clipped. Leave his patch on his back where the saddle goes. The rest of him's clipped for the winter because as he works, he gets really sweaty. And I have spent 2 hours before with a blow dryer drying him off, because if you put him away wet, that's when they get sick. They can catch a cold, just like people. So here he is. He's kind of standing here. He's looking for his treat, hoping he'll give you a few of his airs about the ground. Go on. Go on. This horse actually has a beautiful way of going, especially when he's leaping in the air, being kind of a goofball. Go on. Give me a little something. Go on. Well, he doesn't seem that he's going to produce any of his airs about the ground for you today. He did work pretty hard last night jumping, and today we got out and stretched his legs. But you can see a really good body shot of him there. Again, he's never met a camera. He didn't love this horse. So, he is a Dutch warm blood and show name Oberon.